Hi everyone, nice sunny day in Wales. Welcome back to the channel. So we are getting ready for our first weekend away in the van next week. We tried to book somewhere for Easter, but everything was booked up, so we're going next Thursday, so the week after Easter weekend. And before we go, we just wanted to do a few little bits and pieces to the van. So in today's video, we are going to be emptying the front. Okay, and Raj wants to just laminate the plywood on the bottom because it's showing its age a little bit, just so it withstands a little bit more strength. So that's what we're planning on doing today. Raj claims it's very easy to do and he wants me to be having a go, so he'll be using me as slave labour. So what we'll do is we'll put it on a time lapse while we do it so you can see what we're doing. Okay?
Right, so I'm not sure if Kelly just mentioned about the damp with the caravan, but we have had two independent caravan repair companies come round to have a look at the caravan, and the first company basically gave us a bill of £3,500, quotation if you like, to repair it, which is straight away a hell of a lot more than what the actual caravan's worth. Another person came round to have a look at it and he said it's not something he's going to take on, and said it's a winter project, it's a big job. Then I explained about my profession, because I do a lot of carbon fibre, a lot of composites. I said about my theory about laminate it, so basically not taking the timbers out and just laminating on top and underneath to create like sort of a sandwiched composite. It's not a temporary fix, it'll last long term, but it's not the traditional way you repair a caravan. And straight away he said, yeah, not a problem. And I was like quite took back at that, and he said, I used to build boats, which is a very similar process to the industry that I'm in, if you like. And I was like, that's great, that's all I need to know. So what my plan is now is, in this front panel, which is, it's not really essential, but I've just cleaned it out now, but you've got this piece of timber here, this piece of plywood, it's thin ply with insulation in it. What I'm going to do is literally clean this up a little bit, paint some resin over the top, and then put a little bit of chopped strand over the top of that, and work the resin through it, and let go off, and that'll be it, job done. What that's going to do is it's going to make it watertight on the top and seal it all in, and it's going to give you a nice solid base that's not going to perish. The materials I've used, I'll put a link in the description, it's from East Coast Fibreglass. Now I've used a polyester resin for this. It's only cheap resin, but because it's not structural, there's no reason to use an expensive resin. So this is a pre-pigmented white polyester resin. It comes with its own catalyst. I brought my own from work, which just saves me measuring, if you like. But yeah, so that's from East Coast Fibreglass, and I've got some chopped strand, which you can also buy from East Coast, but again, I brought that from work because I've got surplus amounts of it, and some scales to measure it out. So it's going to use some cheap pint pots to contain the resin. Going to mix it up. Going to paint a layer of resin down first onto that plywood, get it all saturated, then put a couple of layers of chopped strand matting over the top of that, then some more resin over the top, and that's it. Should be job done. So let's progress and get on with that then. Let's go. So we've finished doing the laminating now. It's all covered now, nice and neat. Just flatten out a little bit there. But yeah, so it's not too neat at the minute because we need to, once it's all cured, we can sand these back and get the cutouts all nice and neat. But the main thing is the whole top layer of the plywood is completely laminated now and it's watertight. So that's going to outlive me for a start. So just gonna let that cure now. Wait till tomorrow. We'll trim it up and make it look a bit neater. But yeah, nice simple job, not very expensive, and hopefully have a good result from it. So let's see what it looks like in the morning. Right, so it's the next day, and the fiberglass is now got off. So it's absolutely solid, nice and watertight. So I've just I brought a file back from work where I can just get this nice and trimmed up, if you like, just sand it back to the original profile and put the spare wheel plastic trim back in, and that'll be done. I think I might put a little non-slip mat on the top. I just put another bit of resin on it and put a mat over the top once I've cut it to size. And that should be a nice little improvement to it. It's certainly solid, that's for sure. And there's there'll be any more issues now with water. So I'll go and get the file and start trimming that up. Right, so that's the front repair all done. So I'll just show you what I've done. It's all cured now. I'll just put these little non-slip mats in, just for neatness more than anything. But I think that's much better than what it was. At least I know it's solid now, and it's never going to get any worse. It's going to be that like I say, it's going to outlive me. Yeah, that was the easy bit. So that's the end of it for this video. I hope it's been helpful. Like I say, I'll put a link in the description to all the materials I've used. It's a very simple process, and it saves you removing any timbers, so anyone can do it. The next video will be tackling the rear of the Caravan on the corner steadies, because those timbers have completely perished. So I've got to, I'll be laminating them from underneath and from inside on the top, which, if it works, I can't see why it's not going to work, but if it works, it's saved me a hell of a lot of money. And for people who are buying a Caravan, that's say 3 grand's worth, 2.5 grand's worth, it's not worth spending the 3 grand on a repair. It might be a good solution for you if you've missed, like I've missed, this sort of damp issue. But yeah, I'll stop waffling on. Hope you've liked the video. If you have, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot.